Welcome back, students. As we are looking for the third unit of this subject, that is mobile networking, in which we have initiated the mobile TCP topic, and our today's topic is classical TCP improvements. So let us start with it. There were some drawbacks in that classical TCP, traditional TCP, and because of such some improvements, this classical TCP can become a mobile TCP. Okay, here are total 7 classical TCP improvements we will going to discuss, in which the first TCP improvement is indirect TCP, second is snooping TCP, third is mobile TCP, the fast retransmit or fast recovery TCP, transmission or timeout freezing, selective retransmission, and transaction oriented TCP. Okay, so we will start with the first improvement in the classical TCP, that is indirect TCP. Indirect TCP is also called as ITCP. ITCP. Firstly, no changes to the TCP protocol for host connected to the wired internet is required. Millions of the computer uses this protocol. Look, uh, actually, the TCP protocol we have discussed that TCP protocol only works for fixed devices and wired network, and the device which is already connected to the wired network, no changes is required for that host. Okay, we can use the traditional TCP as it is. Indirect TCP, whether it is using indirect TCP, no changes required in the host if that host is used using a wired network, because millions of the computer right now also using that wired network, so we cannot make a huge amount of changes in the host. Okay, but TCP protocol is optimized for mobile host. Actually, by using indirect TCP, our TCP protocols is somehow optimized. Some changes is made in the TCP protocol, traditional TCP protocol, to support the mobility facility for the mobile host. Okay, how and what are the optimization or what are the changes made in the TCP protocol? Actually, our original TCP protocol is splitted into two. Okay, look here, for example, foreign agent. Actually, here are some concepts: foreign agent, home agent, mobile host. We have discussed this before also. Foreign agent is the router where our device already present is. Okay, right now he is using the internet by using which router, that router is called as foreign router, and that device may belong to some other network. That network is will be called as home network, and that previous router will be called as home agent. Okay, and the device who is moving from one place to other place, we say that device is a mobile host or mobile node. Okay, now come to our point. Foreign agent uses two TCP connections, or foreign agent splits the TCP into two TCP connection. In diagram we can see two different types of TCPs are getting used here. Actually, this foreign agent is using wireless TCP and standard classical TCP also. Okay, foreign agent is using standard TCP for our wired internet. Okay, or fixed host. If a host is fixed and he's using wired network, then that standard TCP will be used by the foreign agent. Okay, and if the host is mobile, so foreign agent will use a wireless TCP. Okay, so here TCP is getting divided into two types, or it is getting splitted into two. First is wired TCP and second is wireless TCP. That wired TCP is called as standard TCP. So why this is called as indirect TCP? It is the first improvement in the classical TCP, because here the TCP are getting split into two types: standard TCP and wireless TCP, where the device is moving, or it is the mobile device, where it will be where there will be the mobile device, the wireless TCP will be used, and where there will be a fixed device, the standard TCP will be used, and it is the indirect TCP. Here are some advantages of the indirect TCP, like no changes are required in the fixed network and no changes in the host which is connected to the wired network. Okay, first advantage, because millions of the peoples are right now also using that fixed network and fixed device. If if some errors, if some transmission errors are there in the wireless network, that transmission errors in the wireless network will not spread it into fixed network. It is the main advantage of the indirect TCP. If we are using some new mechanism, like wireless connection we are using here, and if some errors are there in the wireless connection, that will not be spreaded into fixed network. It is the main advantage of the indirect TCP, and it is simple to control. Okay, because only single foreign agent is there, who is connected to the wired network and wireless network also. That's why it is simple to control. Some disadvantages are also there in the indirect TCP, like loss of the end-to-end semantics. On sender, getting acknowledgement of the packet does not mean that the packet delivered successfully. If sender is sending some information or packets to the receiver, and receiver providing acknowledgement to the sender, but sender does not give the assurity that packet is delivered to the receiver, because there is a foreign agent in between original sender and receiver. Foreign agent, and there may be a dropping of the packets in between sender and receiver because of a foreign agent, and because of using foreign agent, sender or receiver will not assure the reception of the or delivery of the packets. Higher latency is possible due to buffering of the data within the foreign agent and forwarding to the new agent. If more than one agents are there, if more than one foreign agents are there, so each foreign agent will use his own buffer. When information is received up to the foreign agent will store that information temporarily in the respective buffer, and when receiver will be ready to receive the information, then the foreign agent will take out the information from buffer and sends that information to the receiver. But it will need more time, and because of which latency can be possible. Okay, and these are the two disadvantages of the indirect TCP. Thank you.